right? So now I did it once, and now maybe I'll do it again. This time I'm going to try and be a little more pushed with it. I might even add like more stuff than I see at this point, just because I'm trying to push stuff even further. The whole point of this is to get the character from this guy. So you can see how loose I'm sketching this stuff. I'm not being tight with it at all at this point. I don't want to be tight at all. Cleanup is not important in this class at all. Like, cleaning things up is something where you take it to a finish. It's all about presentation if you want to clean stuff up, but right now what we're trying to do is just observe from life. So you see how this is starting to get a little bit more further away from this guy now, where it's like there's a little bit more character in there now. And then maybe I'll do it again one more time, just to kind of really find out what it is about this guy. So what I'm basically doing right now is this is like taking notes, this is like, okay, I like the authenticity of this, so this is like taking notes in a class, and then I can use this later, these notes, to design my characters. And sometimes I don't even have to draw the whole bust. I can just do maybe just a detail of maybe just the eyes. Really focus it in what it is here. So one thing I'm noticing that I'm not doing is, see how I'm actually learning from these drawings? I'm noticing that my eyes, in order to caricature this guy, they need to be a little bit further apart from each other. And that's the kind of things that you're going to learn as you start doing this kind of thing. You're going to start to see where it is that you want to push things. So now I know, like, if I go to my character now, like, oh, he's got to have further eyes apart because I want him to feel like this guy. Another thing, too, that I'm noticing is maybe I don't want such a big mouth. Maybe I can make this a lot smaller. See, so now it's like I went from this to that, and you see how that changes the face? And it's so subtle, right? It's so subtle, those little things, but they mean so much. It's like that's how you get your characters to the next level, is really observing that stuff. Those subtleties. What are those subtleties in the character that you're designing, and that's taking it away from generic. Because now, before I move on to the next pose, I'll show you how it applies. So let's say my character, I don't know, is a teddy bear again, right? And like Lotso, for example, when I was designing Lotso, we referenced an older guy because we wanted him to have bushy eyebrows and stuff. But let's say I want this teddy bear to feel like this guy. So then I know that, what are the key things? Smaller mouth, wider set eyes, and then the hair is what it is. I don't know if that applies to the character design, but in this case, let's say it does. Let's say our character does have long hair. So my teddy bear, right away, I'm thinking like something like this. And I don't want him to have as bushy eyebrows because it's a different character. So now I'm thinking of something else. Let's say it's this teddy bear just happens to have hair, just as an example. So you see how this applies now? Like, that's how I use this as reference. It's a teddy bear now, though. It's not. It isn't a person anymore. So that's one way to use reference from still frames on a video like YouTube, or from any kind of movie clip or something like that. It's how it applies directly and relates directly to our designs. Okay, so now I want to move forward into more the other poses. Let's start a new layer on this one. And if it's more of an action pose, that's great for the gesture, because now I can take that same design, but now it's all about the gesture. And I'm exaggerating too, in order to really push these guys as much as I can. And now, for example, I can't see the face on that guy, but because I've done some research on the other poses, I get a sense of like, he's like, oh no. I'm looking at that little silhouette right there. I'm able to get that shape from that. This is super rough. So you see how rough I'm being with it. So that's totally okay. That's what I want you guys to do too. So that's one study, and I can go over that a couple more times, but I want to, like I did in the other one, but I want to start, detailing this out just a little bit more. So what I do now is I'll take that down to another value. And if you don't have Photoshop, that's fine. This is all about, you can just take tracing paper on top of this drawing. It doesn't matter what you draw in. This is just a tool. So now that I have my notes, I don't really need to look at the reference too much either, so I'll put that aside for now. Because this is my notes for that pose. But I really want that expression to read now. In my notes, I had drawn these in this drawings here, I had drawn these little nostrils things. So now I'm going to go back to that and apply it to some of this guy. Like even the little details just like that. And I'm still staying loose. I'm not going to stick to that drawing too much or anything, because if I do, that's going to really tie me down and make me limit it. And I don't want to limit myself, and I don't want to get too tied down. I'm not trying to clean it up. I'm just trying to find the next level and layer of posing. So I might even go back and rework something if it's not reading enough for me.